Hey, Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here, and today I am going to connect with Karla Del Grande and find out what makes her an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. Before we get started, as always, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications. All right, let's begin. Karla, thanks so much for joining us today. Why don't you start us off with an introduction?
Okay, I'm Karla Del Grande. I'm a master's athlete, age 71. I'm Canadian. I've been doing this for a number of years, from about 2003 till now. I did sprint as a kid, did some other sports, and left track and field, kind of when I was getting my career going and, young daughter and so on. I stayed active, but not track or not running. I was a teacher and always did track and field, cross country, and different sports with my students. Both in my classroom and extracurricular. And when I was about 50, 48, 49, 50, a colleague at school got me out running again, doing some road races. And I liked it, but really wasn't my thing. Someone said, I said, I used to sprint. I'd love to sprint. This long, slow stuff it's fun and it's social and it keeps me fit and active, but I really like sprinting.
Mhm.
So somebody told me about Masters track and field, not just road races, and so gave it a try. Um, Met a coach at one of the early meets I went to, where I was just kind of checking things out and seeing what it was all about. And he said to me, "I think you've got some potential. You used to sprint. Your form is good. You want to still do this?" And I said, "Oh yeah." So he agreed to take me on. His name was Bruce Mitchell, and he was a master sprinter himself. And he said, "Whatever you put into it, I'll match. If you're just kind of dabbling and you just want to try it out, that's fine. If you want to, get serious and do some competing, I'll match that. I'll help you do that." So we got started, and I loved it. Very very early on, I realized that there's a lot of work to it.
Sure.
You got to commit to it, and you got to, you know, um, you got to do the training that suits the sprinting.
Mhm.
At the very beginning, I was still doing some road races. Not a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was doing these, 15-kilometer runs and weekend runs, long runs, 20-kilometer runs, and then going to track practice and doing some sprints.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's
Mhm.
not a good idea. If you want to sprint, you're working at cross purposes here."
Yeah.
So I gave up the long distance and said,
Okay.
"Okay, sprinting it is."
You did some things, back in the day, way back when, but you've been a master's track and field athlete for, quite a long time now. So before we start talking specifically about how you're doing things today, I would like to check and see, did you have any setbacks along the way, any major injuries? And obviously you've overcome them, but maybe how did you overcome them? And then where do you sit today physically before we start talking about your actual achievements and so forth?
I think any master's athlete knows that if you ask that kind of question, you get a laundry list of things that are wrong, and what muscle is feeling good today? It might be a short list. So um, over the years, yeah, I've had ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. You have issues that take a little longer to heal. You're not always smart about it because it's not older and wiser.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's older and maybe a little less smart because you're trying to, oh, well, that worked when I was 20. Oh, okay, it doesn't work now. So there's things that you have to learn to manage those things. Um, I think I have a lot of hip issues over the years, just just um, sciatic type things, piriformis things, um, just IT band sometimes, some of those things. And I think what I've found is achieving balance in my training is really important.
Yeah.
So I do water running once a week. I make sure I'm in the weight room. I make sure I do stretching, dynamic stretching. I make sure keep the body mobile.
Mhm.
Lots of hip mobility. Um, all those kinds of things you have to build around your sprint training. And I think it goes for anything too. If you're doing long jump or high jump or pole vault or even the longer distances on the track, you've got to build the things around your your goal races that support that and keep those injuries at bay. You're going to have them.
So give us a little bit of a list, and we'll post the entire list of all your achievements in the description below, but give us a little idea of some of your personal best achievements.
I would say, I guess I've had world records in each of my events over the years. One of the things I'm most proud of is an award from WMA, World Masters Athletics, for, I considered a longevity award. So it was the Female Athlete of the Decade. It was given during just at the end of COVID. So it was from the period 2010 to 2019. And because over that period of time, I had world records in 60, 200, 400 indoors, and outdoors 100, 200, and 400. And those records are made to be broken. I like to set the bar high, but if they're broken, that's great. So some of those records are still there, and some of them are gone. Um, so like I see that as longevity. I see that as my um, best achievement. I think one of the things I am proud of, and Sue McDonald and I have discussed this about being the one of the few women to run your age in the 400 meters.
Mhm.
So I think I was the first woman to do it. It's a thing among guys. It's much more achievable among guys. I think women, we have a shorter time period that we can do that. So that's when I was let's see, 68. I did it at 68 and
Mhm.
twice at 69. And that's kind of it's a quirky
Yeah.
sort of achievement, but it was kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
Um, just one of those things that you can say, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you just went to the Worlds and had a pretty successful world championship, right?
Yes, in Gothenburg, Sweden, two golds and a silver. I got a gold in the 100 meters. They credit it as a world record, but I'd actually broken it about 2 weeks previous in Canada, in Hamilton, Ontario, at a meet. So actually at Worlds, what I did was tie it.
Okay.
And so that was a world record, 14.7 for 100 meters. 200 meters, I was second to great runner from Chile, Sarah Montesinos, and I had actually broken that as a world record. I think it was about 3 weeks previous, um, and so I didn't achieve that time there
Mhm.
at the Worlds. A little windy and little rain and stuff, but
Yeah.
and the competition too is it's hard when you're at the Worlds to do all the things that you may have done previously and maintain that and have the peaking
Mhm.
just at the right time.
Yeah.
So that record was for the 200 was 30.05, which I'm pretty pleased with that one. And then I also ran 200-meter hurdles, which is kind of a new event for me. Um, I'm always doing hurdle mobility, as I said, hip mobility, but it's
Yeah.
over the hurdles. And so I kind of said, I wonder if I could actually do hurdles.
Uh,
So gave it a try, just kind of end of COVID. And so I've done it kind of off and on since then. So this was the first time at a world event and got the gold in that.
well, yeah.
And I not the greatest hurdler, but it's my fun event right now,
Mm.
which to me, if you're not having fun, like why do this? So I'm getting the technical part of it. Uh, what I'm aware of is that I can get over the hurdle and sprint quickly between
Yeah.
and then get over the next one. So I'm not about to do the short hurdles. It's been discussed
Uh-huh.
with my coach, but it's not going to happen because boom, 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 over, boom, 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 over. That's a little too much for me
Yeah. Yeah.
at this age to be doing that. If I was a hurdler, I could see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those
Do
were the three events that I did at Worlds.
you have any specific um, event slash time goals, and also what big meets are coming up over, say, the next year?
I'm not going to set any time goals yet. I'm going to see how the fall and the winter season go. Um, I always like to lower the times that I've had, keep the age grading high. For viewers that don't know the age grading, it's a way of comparing your results with what you coulda, woulda, shoulda done perhaps at a younger age. And sometimes those are good goals to have, keep that age grading high, because in that 5 year group where you go from 70 to 74, things happen. So ideally you're doing your best when you're 70. Last summer was not a good summer. I had a hip issue going on, and so I knew that at 71 going to be a little bit harder, so tried to keep those same times in mind. And fortunately, I did get that 100 and the 200 records. And so hopefully, with continued good training and good health, maybe I can lower them a little bit and maybe get the hurdle one
Sure.
next summer. Give it a try. So I'll look at our Canadian Masters indoors will be in Winnipeg. Haven't been to Winnipeg for many years and like to go back. We've had it on West Coast, East Coast, and so on. So this is right in the middle. So that might be good. And then, of course, that's in February. And then in March, it'll be World Masters again, indoors in Gainesville, Florida. So that's not
That's
that
where you're
far.
headed. Yeah, sure. Okay. You mentioned a few things about some of your training, but give us, like a typical week. What kind of track workouts, road workouts, weight room workouts, cross training workouts? What do you do on a typical week? Let's say maybe in an off season, or maybe during the actual season to be as fast as you are.
Generally, it stays the same all year with variations in the intensity or in the volume. So generally, Monday is my weights and pool day. I find the deep water running is really good. I first do drills, the same drills I would do on the track with some alteration so I don't drown myself, but I'm in the shallow end and I'm doing the same drills.
Mhm.
So I'm doing the bounding, I'm doing the high knees, I'm doing some of the leg swings and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing that in the shallow end first. And then I put a flotation belt on and use a bungee cord to hook myself to the corner in the deep end, and I sprint. I sprint. So I'll do intervals. So so this will vary. The intervals might be short and fast, or they might be, longer kind of tempo stuff. And my guideline has kind of been sort of double the time and half the rest. So like today, I did 10 or 20 times 100 meters. So I'll just say that's 30 seconds. It's not, I mean, I want it on the 15, 30, 45 or the minute. So that's why it's not like exactly. So um, if I do 20 times 100 meters, I'm doing 30 seconds and 15-second rest. And I vary that rest. Sometimes I need more rest, sometimes a little bit less. You
Mhm.
don't, sometimes on the longer intervals, you think, oh my gosh, like I just did like 2 minutes really hard or 3 minutes hard, whatever, 5 minutes really hard, hard, hard. I'm going to need more rest. You actually find that you don't. So Monday, weights, and then the pool. Tuesday will be a track workout and Thursday a track workout. So my coach, Carrie Smith, I meet at York University. We usually do the speed work on Tuesday, the shorter, faster stuff. And Thursday is a little bit more of the tempo stuff, a little bit longer stuff. Sometimes I do that on my own, depending on availability of tracks and timing. Uh, Always hard as a master to find the places to train. Sometimes the tracks aren't open to us. I know a lot of people train with high school kids and so on, and that's an option. That's something you sometimes have to figure out. Wednesday morning, I often do it's called a lift class. I train at Variety Village, which is a facility for people of all abilities. And the lift class is guided lifting. So we're doing chest press and deadlift and step ups and all kinds of full body weights.
Yeah.
And it's a personal trainer that runs it, and she's very good. I love the women I'm doing it with because we're all there for the same reason. They're not sprinters. Very few of them are runners or would even consider themselves athletes, but they are. They are. Um, there's people there that are losing weight, have health issues, whatever. We're all there for the same thing. We're trying to age
Mhm.
better, be able to do things that we wouldn't normally. You do them in a group. Everything is modified. We're supportive of each other, and it's great. The Friday class that I do is called Core Fitness. It's a different personal trainer who's actually given me a lot of programs for my sprinting. It's a lot of balance and a lot of mobility. Core core is chin to toes,
Mhm.
and we do a lot of footwork, a lot of ankle work, a lot of things supporting your knees, different kinds of lunges, and so on. And it's one of my favorite things that I do. And it's again with some of the same women as on with my Wednesday group that are we're all trying to keep fit in whatever ways we can.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun to have that supportive group. It's fun for me to have people that they have the same goals for the fitness part, but not the sprinting part. So it takes me away
Yeah.
from that um, sometimes can be too intensive of a focus.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Oh,
Saturday or Sunday is another track workout, and one of those days, then a day off.
yeah.
Which
Okay.
is might also be biking or hiking, walking.
All right. So obviously you're putting a lot of work into this, but you got to feel your body. So give us an idea of your approach to diet and nutrition.
I don't get too how shall I say, too focused on it, like, counting calories, macros, and things like that. I have done that kind of thing, and I find I don't need to, because whenever I've done that, I've found that I'm doing it already.
Mm.
So I'm doing the protein, the 1 gram of protein for the pound of body weight kind of thing, and spreading it out, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then the snacks have got protein included. So I don't feel that I need to be obsessive about it and count it and keep track. Um,
Mhm.
it's kind of there. I
Yeah.
try to eat fairly healthy, but on the other hand, I like my popcorn, and ice cream and chocolate. So, so those things come into it. I don't, deny myself those things. You gotta enjoy life too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so there's that. So it's a healthy diet. I pretty much always have a very good smoothie every day, and it'll have my creatine, protein powder, a greens powder, that kind of stuff, chia seeds,
Yeah.
sometimes flax seeds, um, beet beet powder, beet crystal powder. So it has those things plus fruit,
Yeah.
kale, that kind of stuff. So I almost have one of those every day. I think kind of makes up for a lot of other things that might fall by the wayside on a certain day.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you're competing hot and heavy, you're training hard, you're eating right. At this point in time in your life, what is the motivator? Why do you do it?
I don't know what else I would do. We were just saying we'd pace back and forth. Like it's just so ingrained now. And it's part of it is showing what women 70 can do. Like in my mind, I look at other 70-year-olds and I think, oh, I don't want to be pushing a walker or, overweight or having trouble getting up, play with the grandkids and that kind of thing. Like, I want to move. I want to be active. And so I want to keep um, my body mobile and able to do things, able to just, you know, do things without thinking too much about it. So there's that part of it. The sprinting is there's just a joy in it too of seeing what you can push your body to do. And I've always done it. So I did it as a kid with my dad. My dad would say, run to the next telephone pole or whatever. Let's race, or how far can you get in this pit, jumping in a long jump pit, that kind of thing, or jumping over a fence, that kind of thing. So did all that and like why not still do that again?
So, Kyle, I always like to ask folks, what the secret sauce is. We're always looking for that secret, and you're definitely a role model that we'd like to emulate. So, if you could bottle your secret sauce, what would the ingredients be?
I think it's finding that balance of having your commitment and your focus and all of that, but having the other stuff too. So when I'm training intensely on the track, that's one thing. But then I have my supportive group at Variety Village where we're all there for the same purpose, to keep moving, keep everything going and to have fun. So if I can have that balance of the intense where it's hard and it's tough and it's you put a lot into it. But if I can have the balance of having fun and just the freeness and the joy in it, if I can keep both those things going, I think that's special, and that's maybe what keeps me going.
Okay. Well, Karla, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and letting us know what makes you an autumn athlete that's not done yet. I'd like to wrap up by just giving you the floor to give us some final thoughts.
I I think I would just say to people, find your own passion, the thing that keeps you moving, whatever it is. If it's a track and field event, I think there's something for everybody. There's the throws, there's the jumps, things that you did as a kid or things that you never got a chance to do as a kid. Like give them a try. Why not? Why not? Explore those things. Um, whatever it is to keep active. It might be walking. It might be the weight training. It might be dancing. Might be uh whatever else, biking. There's so much that you can do. We've just been through the Olympics and the Paralympics, and you just see the unbridled limits of the human body, and it just blows your mind. So there is something for everybody out there that they can find to keep moving. The motion is lotion and all that kind of stuff. Like just find something, do it.
Well, there you go, folks. Karla Del Grande. She is definitely an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, keep moving, set your own goals, and train hard to achieve them. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.